Good morning. Here I am, and I am ready. I've got my gloves all on, and I am excited to get to play today for just a little while. The weather here is bleh, so it's kind of dark, but I thought I'd just kind of still try to get on and do a little bit of playtime because I just look forward to this so much. So I was sort of debating what I wanted to do today. Of course, that's how I always am. I always debate what I want to do. And so I had done this page the other night, and it was so fun. And so I thought I would try to do something similar to this, even though I can't recreate the exact same thing. But I'd go back and try to follow the same kind of process that I did. So it starts off, as most of my pages do, with collage. So I'm going to do it on this book, and then I'm going to do something else because it takes a little while for the medium to dry. So, and this page, the pages over here that I started with, these did not, this was a blank page. This is a craft page on this side, like this. So it was kind of like this, but in reverse. So it was a white page and a craft page. This was white. Obviously, I tried really, really hard. Believe me, it took me a lot to not put paint on the entire page and to leave a little tiny bit empty. So I'm going to try to do something like that. Now, I am working with a page that already has some paint on it, and that's fine. But I think this will help me keep some of the white space, which is my goal. So I'm going to get out my... Oh, that's not... Oh, it's okay. I'm going to get this one out. This will work. I wasn't going to use this one because this was for my ink, but that's okay. I'll use it for this too. You know, because sometimes, oh, you know what? Sometimes it's easier to just throw it down on the page. So I'm using matte medium and a palette knife to spread. You can also use like a credit card, an old card. I really like to get these cards from the mail. They, people send these out like part of your pizza things, or you know, those fake credit cards that they send you, and those work really well. An old Starbucks gift card could work really well to just spread that out and make stuff lay down really well. So I'm just gonna work with the flow of what's kind of already here today. And I'm just grabbing some papers that I haven't really thought this out a whole lot, as I never do. So, you know, the colors might be a little bit different, which is okay. It's going to get covered up. Honestly, a lot of it will get covered up anyway. But thank you for joining me today. There's been a lot of people doing things lately where they just play with the whatever's on the desk or whatever's in the trash. What's in your bin? That's what Megan Quinlan has been doing. And for some reason, I really like to do whatever I do on one side, I like to do it on the other. Although not exactly the same, but I feel like it helps it kind of stay kind of balanced. But I rarely ever really pay attention to that. So this is literally just a bunch of pages that I have. Sometimes I actually try to coordinate them. These are more on the blues today, but that's easy for me because I love blue and I gravitate toward blue. So almost never have a problem grabbing blue papers. So now, if you ask me to do red or orange, I might have a problem because I don't have a lot of those. But I do have a lot of red and orange ink and paint. So I could probably make some paper. Okay, so there is some. I could just keep going. I like to do a little piece of this. This is a tea bag. I did on my other one, I used coffee filters, which I will grab some somewhere. I have a lot of those, and they're used, so they make a nice coffee color on everything. The problem with these is that they're so pretty and I don't like to cover them up. And they might get covered up if it's at this layer, this stage of the layers. Okay, so I love how this overlapped the text. Makes it look old. Alrighty, so there's that. Let's see, do I want to do one more little piece? Here's some that's not really in the same colors, but we will see what this does when we add it. Makes it a little bit more interesting. If we need to, we can always just cover it up, right? It just creates another texture, another layer of texture here. I might grab some and throw it over here on the edge. I started watching somebody who said that she purposefully puts her papers going off the edge, creates an interesting texture again, and you can trim that down if you really want to, if it bothers you to have things hanging off. But, you know, I noticed Tiffany from Southern Gal Designs, she always purposefully puts things going off the edge, which is kind of fun. So but hers is usually like a piece of fabric or something, which I definitely am planning to do that at some point in my life. Put some fabric off the edge of a page, make it have a little more texture. Do love texture when it's the right kind of texture. Ooh, this is pretty. Okay. Speaking of texture, there's some sand paste something there. So I don't know. This doesn't quite work with my colors though. Even though I threw those on there, they don't really work with the colors, but that was not quite what I was looking for. So I said I would do this, and then I'm going to put it to the side so it can dry, and then I'm going to come back and add something in a minute. But I just can't stop putting collage. I do like my collage. Okay, so I'm going to put that to the side. Let's see. So I think the next thing I wanted to play with was, while that's drying, quick gel printing, because gel printing is fun and easy to do very quickly while that's drying. Okay, so I have gel printing is you just play with some paper, you're playing with some paint. This gel press is a 5x7, so it's easy to just make your own paper. It's always good to have multiple pieces of paper when you're going to do gel printing, because or stickers. I like to have stickers. These are my printing, shipping labels, but they are like the perfect size for gel printing. This is Payne's Gray. This is like my favorite color right now. So I'm going to do some Payne's Gray on here. Okay. Okay. Oh yeah, I forgot. So usually I'm going to have to do multiple things like this, because the paint just goes everywhere. Okay. So I'm going to put the stencil down. This is a stencil from Dina Wakely. And then I'm going to put my paper here like this. And then, because it overlaps a little bit, there's extra here. I'm going to put this one like that. You can rub it. You can use the brayer on it. There's a few little parts on that side. This Payne's Gray is very dark. It's very almost like a black. There we go. We have some nice white, some nice blackish Payne's Gray on there. Now on my gel plate, I have an impression there, the reverse or the ghost of the design. Sometimes you can get that from the paint on your stencil too. Don't ever forget that there's always a chance for what's called ghost prints, which you can get from the ink or the paint left over on your stencil, on your gel plate, and on your stencil. So I'm going to use this. I'm just going to rub that on there to try to get a good lift, or a good pull is what they say. So see, it kind of pulled up from the edge. Now the good part is, ooh, this is really old book paper, so it may not pull very well, but that's okay. It might pull some of that paint that was already on the gel plate before, so we get kind of a weird grungy look, right? But that'll look really cool once it's when I go back and do something with that, when I collage that onto something. All right, and then let's do a little bit. Let's try. Ooh, this is going to be tricky if I do this. This is fluid acrylic. You can use fluid acrylic on your gel plate. It's literally just a lot more fluid than an actual. See, this is Payne's Gray from Golden. No, I don't sell it. I don't have Golden yet, but I do like it. But you can see how much more blue it is than the Amsterdam. I feel like it's a lot more blue. It looks a lot more blue to me in my eyes over here. It looks a lot more blue. See the difference between the paints? This is the fluid acrylic from Golden, and then this is the Amsterdam. So the Payne's Gray from Amsterdam is really quite dark. If you pick up one of those, you can see. But this is neat because it gives you a variety of colors there. And then I'm gonna get a piece of plain old copy paper here. Copy paper does some nice, usually can do a nice pull of a ghost print. Obviously this is scrap paper because I used it. So that's kind of nice. If you want to get more of that and you feel like it's dried, you can put down a little bit of white, because acrylic paint, this is what I figured out. Acrylic paints, oops, that will be sparkly. It sticks to itself. So if you put a little bit of white, if you feel like your, oh, I have a squeaky brayer. If you feel like your paint has dried on your gel plate and you put down some white because it will blend in with your paper. It could be whatever color you really want, but now if you use white on a book page, it's just going to cover up whatever's on your book page. So you might pull something, you might not. That's kind of, we don't know. That's the fun about mono printing, is you really never know what you're going to get. So the white doesn't show up because it's on a white background, but you can see that it pulled up some of the pink that was on there and some of the green bits. I don't worry about cleaning my plate. You can easily clean your plate with some packing tape. I mean, yeah, just clear packing tape works really well. I do it a lot, and I say I don't clean my plate, but I do sometimes. It creates some really interesting grungy bits that you can use for later projects. I've used some of that, but sometimes I just like to leave it on there and see what kind of randomness I can get. And if you're lucky, maybe you pull a print and it has some of the text that was on the book. There's a little bit of text on there, but I don't have a dark page that I can print on. I can actually try it this way. Watch. It might work. It may not. Let's try it on something very dark like this. Can use it kind of like a stamp and see if it'll pull. Didn't pull. That's okay, but I can tell that there's white print there. it's dried. That's okay though. That's cool, right? You never know what you're gonna get when you do gel plating. That's my thing, is I like the uncertainty of that. Do a little bit of turquoise. You don't really need a whole lot. That's the thing too. Just need enough to make a really thin layer on your plate. I do like to have a piece of paper underneath though, just because, or a book nearby that I can clean my brayer off. Okay, here's my gusts. And then I do have a plate that is like an 8 by 10. So if you wanted to do more on the size of your paper, if you're doing an 8.5 by 11 paper, and you want to get more bang for your buck on that one, you can get the 8 by 10. Ooh, that's really, really pretty. Isn't that pretty? That's a really pretty color. I love turquoise. And now you can see there's a whole lot of ink. There's a whole lot of paint on the back of this stencil. So I'm going to see if we can get a negative pull. Cool. Pretty nice. On that one. And then we have a lot of paint here. So we will do another pull on just paper. And there we go. We've got some nice gusts going on there too. So lots of fun gel printing. The thing about gel printing is, like I said, you just want to make sure that you have space, so you, as you pull the papers, that you have a place to put them to dry. And then also have a big stack of paper to work with, because once you start it, you're not going to want to quit. So, all right, let's see what else I have going on here. Okay, I did some collage in the back, and then I'm pretty sure I went in just with some of my, I was just kind of playing. Of course, I have so much blue on this page. Maybe I'll do some black, and I think I went in with my acrylic ink. Where is my acrylic? And then I think, let me find my stamp. This stamp is so cool, and I have these in the store. And it is called Stacy Stamps, and they're very fine detailed, and they're red rubber, right? And they have the foam on the back so it will stick to an acrylic block. They're so finely detailed. You can go in and you can color these, and it would be such a fun and relaxing thing to do if you like coloring, which I don't. So let me show you what I did with it. Trying to remember what exactly I used. I think I used my scribble stick Night or something similar. You get the thing wet, and then you get your scribble stick wet, and you just scribble on your stamp. I think it works really well with fine detailed stamps. I don't know, I haven't tried it with anything else. This is just the one that I tried it with the other day. I thought it looked really neat. You could probably spray it. Okay, so you're gonna get, it's not gonna be a perfect impression. It's gonna be more of a watercolor because it's wet. Ready? So I'm gonna do one right here. You see, that one's actually very wet and cool and interesting. I might have put too much water on it, but you can just stamp it multiple times. And as you stamp it, you get a nice impression from that. So I might have done it with the black before. I can't even really remember how I did it, but it came out really cool. So see, I like how that came out. And then if you can see on here, I did it too. It came out with the black. There was a lot more detail that came out. So I thought that was pretty cool. Happy accident there. I was like, let me just see what happens if I try this and what kind of look I can get. So that one looks pretty good. So here we have another background page in my journal. Just playing with some different things. We started with collage and we added some paint, and the paint was already kind of there. There were some layers of paint there, but you know, we added some of the scribble sticks and the Stabilos and adding that color in. And you know, I actually did some of that ink too. The ink was fun. So don't discount the chance to just play sometimes and see what you're gonna get. I think it's a relaxing thing to do, especially if you're kind of stressed out. Just set a timer and give yourself about 30 minutes or so, and you can just play and have fun with some media. So go see what kind of supplies you have, and you know, if you decide to do something, if this inspires you, please be sure to tag me if you post about it. I love to promote and I share people's posts into my stories so that other people can see what people are doing. And then please join me back here again next Tuesday, or I'm also live on Friday at around 9:30 on Facebook. Thank you so much for joining me for this journal play today, and I hope that you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next time. Bye.